The greatest human quest is to know what one must do in order to become a human being. Maturity is having the courage to use one's own intelligence. Great minds think for themselves. One is not rich by what one owns, but more by what one is able to do with dignity. Honesty is better than any policy. One who makes himself a worm cannot complain afterwards if people step on him. Two things awe me most: the starry sky above me and the moral law within me. Life is the faculty of spontaneous activity, the awareness that we have power. Freedom is the opposite of necessity. Do the right thing because it is right. Always recognize that human individuals are ends, and do not use them as means to your end. Freedom can never be comprehended, nor even can insight into it be gained. The only thing permanent is change. Freedom is that faculty that enlarges the usefulness of all other faculties. It is never too late to become reasonable and wise. Art is purposiveness without purpose. God, freedom, and immortality are untenable in the light of pure reason. The only thing that is good without qualification is goodwill. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. How then is perfection to be sought? Wherein lies our hope? In education, and in nothing else. Genius is the ability to independently arrive at and understand concepts that would normally have to be taught by another person. The death of dogma is the birth of morality. Have patience, slanders are not long-lived. Truth is the child of time. Ere long she shall appear to vindicate thee. Look closely, the beautiful may be small. For peace to reign on earth, humans must evolve into new beings who have learned to see the whole. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life. We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Better the whole people perish than injustice be done. What might be said of things in themselves, separated from all relationship to our senses, remains for us absolutely unknown. Dignity is the value that creates irreplaceability. Simply to acquiesce in skepticism can never suffice to overcome the restlessness of reason. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. Settle, for sure and universally, what conduct will promote the happiness of a rational being. All perception is colored by emotion. To be is to do. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play. Religion is the recognition of all our duties as divine commands. Ingratitude is the essence of vileness. I had therefore to remove knowledge in order to make room for belief. Metaphysics is a dark ocean without shores or lighthouse, strewn with many a philosophic wreck. Even philosophers will praise war as ennobling mankind, forgetting the Greek who said, "War is bad in that it begets more evil than it kills." Only the descent into hell of self-knowledge can pave the way to godliness. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-incurred immaturity. Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. Dare to know, have the courage to use your own intelligence. Thrift is care and scruple in the spending of one's means. It is not a virtue, and it requires neither skill nor talent. Rules for happiness: something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. All false art, all vain wisdom lasts its time, but finally destroys itself. And its highest culture is also the epoch of its decay. Three things tell a man: his eyes, his friends, and his favorite quotes. Patience is the strength of the weak. Impatience is the weakness of the strong. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. With a lie, a man annihilates his dignity as a man. It is not God's will merely that we should be happy, but that we should make ourselves happy. A person is only a person when he has the power to make sense of his surroundings. So act that your principle of action may safely be made a law for the whole world. Morality is not the doctrine of how we make ourselves happy, but how we make ourselves worthy of happiness. Out of timber so crooked as that from which man is made, nothing entirely straight can be carved. In law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so. Nothing is divine but what is agreeable to reason. All human knowledge begins with intuition, proceeds from thence to concept, and ends with ideas. An organized product of nature is that in which all the parts are mutually ends and means. God put a secret art into the forces of nature so as to enable it to fashion itself out of chaos into a perfect world system. You only know me as you see me, not as I actually am. Notion without intuition is empty. Intuition without notion is blind.